Hi everyone, this is Sierra and welcome to Runa Passport Stories. So first I want to apologize for how long it's been since I put up a video. I've currently been here for a little over a month and I'm just now getting my first week in Korea video out. And I'm so sorry. I have been filming the whole time, things that I think are interesting or when I have the energy to film things. I just haven't really sat down and edited everything. And it's just excuses, lots of excuses for why I haven't done any of it yet. But I'm going to try really hard to catch up so that my videos are more current and they're being posted while things are happening versus me trying to do videos that are now a month old. So without further ado, let's go over my first week in Korea. Sunday I left for Korea, and if you're interested in hearing about how my flight went and my experience with that, I have a whole other video that I will link in the summary box below for you guys to click on and actually see in detail everything that happened on my flight. So with the time difference between my hometown and Korea, I arrived on Monday night, and when I arrived, I went through immigration and customs, but I couldn't find one of my luggage. I was able to find one of my checked suitcases, but I couldn't find the other one, and I waited for 40 minutes until the baggage claim area switched to a different flight. And so I was freaking out a little bit, but really tired because I did not sleep on the flight. I was just trying really hard not to screw up my sleep cycle. And I wanted to be able to sleep once I got there because it would be evening when I got there. And so yeah, fortunately they did find my bag the next day. A Korean had the exact same bag and they'd taken mine instead. And so they very nicely returned it to get theirs. So after I had given all my information for my luggage to the airport, I left, and when I exited there was a bunch of people, mostly men, all just sitting on these benches with this fence thing in between with a bunch of names. And I see my name, so I'm like, oh, okay. So somewhere in this mix is my driver, because my recruiter had paid for a driver to pick me up. And I was like, so I went over to touch it, and this man hurriedly gets off his bench, runs over and points at it, and I'm like, yes, that's me. And this man's he walks so fast that I felt like I had to run to keep up with him as he's calling my recruiter to say that he found me, because I was a bit late because of the whole lost baggage thing I was dealing with. And then hurriedly gets me in his car, it was like a van kind of car thing, and he's driving me, and I really did kind of fall asleep on the way there. Not a ton, but I kind of dozed off. It was just, I don't know. You think you're gonna be in Korea and it's gonna be this exciting moment. And it was super exciting when I was landing and I could see Korea because I was landing at a sunset. It was beautiful and that was exciting. But then trying to get through immigration, which was a long line, you're sweating because you have all these layers on. And you have because I was wearing my bulky jacket because I didn't want to try to fit into my suitcase. And I'm trying to lug around this big backpack and a little suitcase, and then I got my big suitcase, and I'm freaking out about my luggage, and I'm super tired that Korea wasn't that exciting. I was just drive me to where I need to go. Which ended up being at one of the directors at my school's place. And so yeah, she was a very nice woman. I stayed in her guest bedroom. I tried to talk with them because I think I arrived early evening. I think I got to their place around 8 or 9ish. And I talked for a little bit, but I was just Dad, I look like a mess. I look like a mess. And so I quickly just said goodnight, took a shower because I was disgusting, and went to sleep. And I slept for 11 hours. I know one of my coworkers, she arrived on a flight that was a few hours after mine, but I didn't even hear her arrive at my director's place. I just slept through it, slept. I met her the next morning. I was just sleeping. But I slept for 11 hours, and I think that really did save my jet lag because it really helped reset me quite a bit. My director had a gorgeous apartment. She had this big kitchen. She had a view of the Han River. She just had this really large living room, and these walls that seem to be covered in stone. And at the end of this hallway was the spare bedroom that I stayed in. Yeah, so I stayed on the pink bed, and you can see my stuffed animals. And then my coworker stayed on the blue bed. And these beds weren't really beds. They were more of like slightly cushy mats on the floor. They weren't bad. They weren't bad. It was just different. It was more like just like sleeping over on the floor, which I think this is more of a traditional Korean style of sleeping. But I was very glad when I got my apartment and I have a bed. It's very nice. My director had a puppy, and he was so cute. He was this little brown poodle, and his name was Holdu. Holdu, I think is how it was pronounced, and it means walnut in Korean. And he was so sweet, tons of energy. So I loved to like cuddle with him, and he kind of gave me that animal love that I was kind of craving since I've been wanting a pet for a while. On my second day, Tuesday, I was able to explore Kimpo. We were looking for a place to eat for lunch, and we didn't really know what to choose. We didn't actually know what we were hungry for. We wanted Korean food, and so we were kind of looking at this restaurant, and we saw that there was food there. And we were like, oh, should we go in? I don't know. And then this man must have seen us through the window, kind of trying to figure out if we should go in. And he just came out, and he said something in Korean and started waving us in. And we were like, I guess so. And so he basically just dragged us in to his restaurant. It was empty, and gave us like, he asked us what we wanted, and we were like, I don't know. And he didn't speak very much English. He spoke a little bit of English. It was super nice, and he basically just told us what to get, and we were like, okay, great, sure. So after we ordered, he arrived with tteokbokki, which was some rice cakes and a spicy sauce. We thought we'd order pork cutlets. And I guess it was a pork cutlet, just not what I thought a pork cutlet would be. It ended up being pork that was flattened quite a bit, and then it was battered and fried with like this gravy sauce over it and some sesame seeds on it. So that was really good. And then we had some rice, obviously. And then there was this little cabbage coleslaw off to the side, but the dressing on it made me laugh. So the dressing was pink. But when I ate it, it was like this super sweet, almost like an artificial grape flavor, kind of like what a purple Jolly Rancher or a purple soda tastes like. It was that kind of grape. And it was just startling against like the savory pork cutlet fried grape barbecue thing. And then the rice, and all of a sudden it's like purple sauce. I was like, what? And so me and Meg laughed about it quite a bit. It was just surprising. It wasn't bad, but I didn't particularly like it because it just reminded me of candy. Wednesday was the first day of going into work, and I was able to see my school for the first time. They had sent pictures before, but this was the first time going into it, seeing the location. We were given a little bit of an orientation, not much, more of just told what was happening that day. So I went in, and it was kind of said that the parents were having an orientation. So the parents were coming in to check out the school. They're bringing their kids in to see if this is where they actually wanted to enroll their kids and kind of learn about how the program works. I didn't quite know what my role would be. Then I find out like, oh, I have to like go up and like introduce myself. I was told that all I had to do was go up, say my name, and say where I was from. But it looked like, I don't know, I think I should have said more because I kind of was up there and it was awkward. With all these parents staring at me, and then my director was like translated it, and I think she added more to embellish what I'd said. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then afterwards, like this parent came up to me and was just like, yellow bear. And I didn't quite know that we were going to be doing meet and greet with the parents and talking to the parents of our students. Because this was the first day. I still had no idea what was going on. I thought that this was like a student that was supposed to be in class in Yellow Bear. So I tried to like take this child and take her to class, with the current Yellow Bears, right? And then it looked super, like, the class was really confused. They were just like, what? And then the parent was confused, and I was confused, and I was like, oh man. So I messed up with the first child that I met. But then the parents that came up to me after that, I didn't mess up, I just talked to them. Some knew English, some didn't. And I just kind of said hello to the kids and their parents. It was kind of nerve-wracking. It was just like, oh god, what are we doing? Ah! And it actually lasted a long time. Like, it was just a lot of standing and a lot of barefoot standing because you don't wear shoes at work, which I've gotten used to now. I actually have these sandals I brought, but I didn't bring the sandals that day because I wasn't sure what was happening. But I wish I had, because bare feet, it hurt after a while on hardwood floors. And so yeah, that was my first day, and then they let us off work a little early, and we basically just went back to my director's place and just hanged out and relaxed and talked to family and that kind of thing. On Thursday, we were told to come in at 2 p.m. So we had the morning to just like hang out, do what we wanted, because then at 2 p.m. we were going to come in, have some training from our academic director, who was a different woman than who we were staying with. And then we were going to try to prep for our classes. So I hanged out at a coffee place named Edia Coffee near my work, and I hanged out there with my coworker Neve and my coworker Meg. It was a really cute place. It was a really cute cafe. I got a peach iced tea that was really good, along with something called an original hot bun, which it was warm, and it tasted like French toast. Like, nothing was inside it. It was just bread with like this French toast glaze or something on it. And then Neve had ordered what we all thought was going to be toast with cheese on it, but it ended up being like a ham and cheese sandwich, and she doesn't eat pork. And so me and Meg shared that. Or I might have just had it, I can't remember. I might have eaten all of it. But then I gave Neve most of my hot bun. On the way to work, I was able to see these two men that were ice carving, and I think it was for advertising. I'm not sure what it said, but they carved this heart, and it was so cute. Then on Friday, I had my health exam, and I mean, I was worried about my health exam, not for like big reasons, but I had just been told don't have aspirin, don't have any kind of like over-the-counter drugs before you go, because that could like mess with your readings, because those things might not be in Korea. Like my recruiter said not to take ibuprofen, because that's not a drug they have in Korea. And so I was like, oh god, like I took cough drops, I took cough medicine, oh god, because I did have a cold when I first came to Korea, and everything was fine. Like, I checked out great, nothing was wrong. But I'm going to tell you how the health exam kind of went for me. So I arrived, the director I was staying with kind of helped us a bit with getting checked in, and then she had to leave to pick up some other coworkers to drop them off for their health exam as well. And it was interesting, like the health exam was almost like a McDonald's assembly line kind of thing. It was like, all right, you go to these people, they're gonna check like your eyesight. Oh no, first things first, they sent you in to get changed. So they kind of gave you these like scrub kind of things, and I was able to keep my pants on. I just put the scrub for the top on. And then you have like these lockers, and then you sit back down in a spot, and then they take you into a room where they do vision and like heart rate, and then they sit you somewhere else. And then you get called into the x-ray room, and you get x-rayed, and then they sit you into a different spot, and then you have to go up, and they gave me like this tube for pee and told me to go to the bathroom, and they kind of said to like leave the tube in the bathroom, so then I found the bathroom, which is in a different location, which I feel like it should have been more convenient, and like closer to where the station was. So you go pee in, like, they gave you like a cup, and you're supposed to pee in the cup and then pour it into the tube. Anyways, it was different than how it happens in the States. And then leave the tube in a rack. There was just a rack in the bathroom full of like pee tubes. And you just leave it there because it has your name label on it. And then you go back to those people that gave you the pee stuff, and then you tell them you left the pee, and then they do a blood draw, which I hate. I hate having a blood draw, and it's so gross. So I did not look. Could not look. And then they sit me back down again, and then I got called in for, like, I don't know if it was a psych evaluation. I'm not sure what that was, but it was a doctor that spoke English. So this is the first time a doctor kind of talked to me. And the doctor just asked, like, do you have anything, is there anything you should be worried about? Do you have any, like, depression? And I was just like, you know, answered no, I don't, thank you. And then, oh, I forgot, there was also part of this assembly line was a room where you got a colorblind test and you had a hearing test to make sure you could hear and you weren't colorblind, I guess. I guess that was a concern. But, and so yeah, and then I was done first. Mine went pretty quickly. But then by the time it got to my other coworkers, there had been a lot more people, so it got much more backed up. Oh, and we were told not to drink water. I'm not sure if that would mess with the pee thing, but we weren't able to drink all morning, so I was super thirsty. And then yeah, once we were all done, we got a taxi back to my boss's place, and that was it. Oh, but the taxi driver on the way back to my director's apartment was actually really nice. I knew enough Korean to kind of have a little bit of small talk, and he gave us gum. Like these little gum pieces that were really like fruity flavored, and they were good. We said, oh, it's really good. So then he like brought out like this brand new package, and he like gave it to us. And it was so nice, like it was for keeps, and I was like, oh, thank you, that's so sweet. Like, I haven't had many taxi rides, but I was like, wow, this is a really sweet taxi. Like, this is like the first taxi driver besides the person that picked me up from the airport. And it was like, wow, they gave me a pack of gum. Thank you. And yeah, that was my Friday. I think I went back in for some work in the afternoon to try to prep. And then my last day of my first week was Saturday, and that was just a very relaxing day. Nothing super exciting happened. I think my director took me and my coworkers that were staying together to E-Mart Traders, and that was fun. I bought a few things, but not much. I didn't take any videos, so I can't really show much about that. It was just a store. and then I just relaxed. And that was my first week in Korea. If you have any questions about how this first week went, please let me know. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. I am still learning how to make videos, and thank you for your patience for waiting for me to get these videos out. I'm gonna try really hard to get the other videos done in time. But yeah, so if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button below, and